Hey guys, my brother gave me a free Marley Spoon box. I just had to pay for shipping, which was $8.95. So I thought I'd unbox it, show you the recipes I got, give you a couple of tips that I've learned, and a review at the end. I've had HelloFresh before, so I do have something to compare to. Let's get into it. So the first thing I did after I'd ordered this box, and I'm telling you right at the start because this is really important, is it's a subscription box. So it automatically sets you up for getting weekly meals. So what I did straight away is I cancelled next week's and the week after because we just wanted to see what this tasted like if we wanted to get it in the future. So don't make the mistake that I made when I got HelloFresh. I cancelled the next week after we got our first free box, but I didn't the week after. So before we knew it, we had another box coming. So in the box it has a little welcome pack, and then it has what you'll need from your pantry, and what utensils you might need, as well as what some staples. So for instance, we had to use sugar and soy sauce from our pantry. So when I logged in, they had selected 2 meals for us. One of them was the beef ragu with pasta. We thought that was okay, but I didn't want the other one. I can't even remember what it was now. So there was another section that I could open up, and there was lots of different options, and we went with the Asian pork dumpling soup. I love dumplings, so I really want to try this out at home. Each paper bag here says what meal it's for and to keep it refrigerated. Inside this particular one, it had the dumplings and the Parmesan cheese. The bag that it comes into is also recyclable, which is great. I just need to work out where I take it to. It had a website to look up to where the bag goes to. So inside the bag was the dumplings, the Parmesan cheese, the mince, as well as the olives. So I put all that directly into the fridge. And then it had these plastic ice blocks, which they say you can reuse, and I have with some of the HelloFresh. We don't need any more ice blocks at the moment, so I'm just going to let them defrost. So I'm going to put whole bags in the fridge as well. So that night we decided that we'd do the Asian pork dumpling soup with carrot, soy and kaffir lime. It says that it'll take about 25 minutes. I know for me, I'm just a slow cook. It always takes me longer. So I think probably about 40 minutes it took me. So first off, what I did is I took everything out of the packaging and then gave it a wash. So there was quite a bit of packaging here. Even the spring onions here, they were actually separated in 2 little bags, and the pak choy had 2 in each bag as well. So it says to wash all of the vegetables because they're directly from the farm. So that's what I did. And then the first step in the recipe is read through the recipe in bold letters. Which is funny, I reckon, because in the end I didn't actually read it all through. I just read a couple of steps and got going with it. Dave and I decided to actually cook this together and make it a bit of a home date night. So that's what we ended up doing. He went down to step 4, which was chop up the vegetables, and I did step 1, which was preparing the spring onions, coriander and garlic. One of the things I did pick up from reading the recipe was that the coriander leaves and the stems were to be kept separate. So I made sure to pull off all the leaves and put them to a side, and then I chopped up the stems like they said. Dave did the carrots and the pak choy, and the pak choy leaves and stalk were to be kept separate as well. Like I said, we have done HelloFresh a couple of times, so something that I have noticed that's similar between the two of them is that they both use carrots. I know a lot of the recipes that we used in the HelloFresh had grated carrot in it. I don't know if it's just the ones we chose, but it's a common theme I noticed just to get some veggies into those meals. Carrot is obviously an easy one to do and probably inexpensive too, I would think. Then Dave's just using the pull chopper from Kmart. That's $6 just to crush up the garlic. Once all the ingredients were prepped, then I put some oil into a saucepan and then added in the coriander, garlic. It's said to do chili, but I didn't want chili, so we didn't put any chili in, and half the spring onion. The rest of the spring onion is used for the garnish. And then it said to do that for about 2 minutes until it was fragrant. And then it said to add in some stock cubes. This is another thing I've really noticed with both of them, the HelloFresh and Marley Spoon, is you do use a lot of stock cubes. So this one required 6 cups of boiling water, and it had 8 stock cubes in it, chicken stock cubes. Then we scrunched up the kaffir lime leaves to try and help the flavour come out, and then used some sugar from our pantry as well as some soy sauce. It said to season with pepper, which we did, and then stirred it all through until it returned to a boil. And then we let it cook for another 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, we added in the carrot and the pak choy stems. This is why I do really enjoy these recipes, because after this one we will definitely add to our recipe repertoire. It'll be one that we'll be doing again. I just enjoy learning as you're cooking. I've got my really basic meals that I do again and again, whereas this one I did learn a little bit. I would normally just do all the pak choy all in together at the one time, but like I said, they said to separate the stems and the leaves and do them at different times, just putting in the leaves 2 minutes later. So it's good. It's certainly going to help my cooking. It's a pretty inexpensive cooking class, really, isn't it, having that recipe and the majority of the food supplied. After putting in the stems, then it said to put in the dumpling. These dumplings were absolutely delicious. I love the combination of pork and ginger in dumplings, so I was so excited to have these.
This is our life, and sometimes all you need is to smile to get by. We're one step closer to find ourselves a perfect place, a feeling you just can't deny. So come on over, 'cause I could never live without you.
After that had cooked for a couple of minutes, then I put the leaves in, and then I waited another minute or two before checking on the dumplings. I really didn't want the pork to be undercooked, so here I am getting the pork out and checking it. It said you could put salt and pepper in again, but I thought with the stock cubes it would already be salty enough, so we didn't bother putting that in, and it did taste salty enough. So I got the dumpling out and just broke it in half because I wanted to be 100% sure that the pork was cooked, and I was really happy with it, so it was done. They said the dumplings just needed 4 minutes to cook, which was pretty amazing, I thought. Then Dave and I had a full serving of dumplings and soup, and our 3-year-old, I just gave her a dumpling to try. I didn't worry about the soup. I didn't think she'd be too into it. So she and her brother had some leftover chicken schnitzels that we'd made. And then to garnish each one, this is when I put the coriander leaves on. The chili I put on Dave's, not on mine, and the other half of the spring onions as well. The chili ended up being actually really quite spicy, and Dave took it out. Okay, so that's the first one done. The recipe was really easy to read. Key ingredients were in bold, so it was easy to find it when you were just searching through. The pictures were okay on the chopping board. Photos on the stove I thought could have been better. Like, I was trying to really look at it to see what kind of size saucepan it was, knowing what we'd need. And that was quite difficult to tell by being on the black stove. So I think their saucepan could be on a different one, which would make it easier when you're looking at that image to try and work out, well, what exactly size saucepan do I need? Alrighty, so the next one Dave did, which was the beef ragu with pasta, and he just followed this. He browned the beef. The thing I do like about the sheet they give you is it does have some nutrition per serving. It does talk about allergens as well, and it has a little section that says cooking tip. So it says garlic used raw needs to be finely minced. Adding a little salt to the garlic on the chopping board helps. Dave tried that, but he really couldn't get the garlic into a paste, which is what it said to do. And it also gave another tip here that olives can be omitted during the cooking and scattered over at the end for those who like them. So that's handy to know. Then he went over and browned the mince on the stove. It suggested seasoning with salt and pepper, which we ended up not doing because, like I said, we don't normally add salt and pepper, so we're not used to that. And like I previously said with the other one, this one had 2 beef stock cubes. So we're already getting salt later on with the cubes as well as the olives. So we didn't add any salt and pepper. Once it was browned, removed it from the pan and then cooked the carrot, onion and half a garlic. Like I said, once again, this had carrot, which is a really common one. And the other thing I noticed too between this and HelloFresh is fresh garlic, which gives the dishes such a fresh and fragrant flavour. So our chopping boards were once white, but I put them in the dishwasher and I put them in with when I'd made spaghetti bolognese, and so the tomato just stains them. So we chopped up all those olives into small pieces and then got on to doing the stock. So they give you these stock cubes. If I was doing it myself next time, then I would use the salt reduced stock cube because you can really taste it. He then added back the beef, the stock cubes, the tomatoes and the olives and just mixed that all in together. And then for this one, it has a Parmesan gremolata is what it's called, but this is so important. This is what makes it different for mine than me just making my spag bowl. It is lemon zest, parsley leaves, just the leaves, not the stems at all, and grating up that Parmesan, and it gives us a really fresh tang having that lemon in it. Because Dave and I were discussing it and we're like, well, otherwise the ragu is just very similar to my spaghetti bolognese.
Roll the dice, you don't live twice. Roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice, you don't live twice. Roll the dice. I see the fire in your eyes. They used to take color from the skies. Do you remember?
Really needed that Parmesan topping because that was just delicious. Everyone had this in our whole family. So we will definitely be doing the dumplings again. They were sensational. Thanks heaps for watching. Bye.